Welcome to another edition of Saxo Friends, the number one podcast on the internet. I mean, it may not be true, but I'm gonna speak it into existence. So, anyway, my guest today is a singer, songwriter, actress, studio owner. She's a handy woman, and she can do all kind of stuff. But I'm gonna let her talk to you about it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce my friend, Miss Carletta Carletta.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you for joining me here. I appreciate you. You could have been doing a lot of other things. So thank you on this wonderful Super Bowl Sunday that I get the chance to talk to you.
Awesome. But yes, thank you for the introduction. And yes, I wear a lot of hats, and that's to just keep me busy in this world of ever constantly changing. So yes, I started C Spot Studio Entertainment back in 2020 during the pandemic. So while everybody else freaking out about certain things, I was busy getting my studio together. And you may even saw me at some point, adding to this or adding to that as it was developing. But I came up with that because I wanted to bring a stage to me. I wanted to okay, if I can't go anywhere, might as well bring it here. And then I wanted to have my own stage where I live in a world, I call it pretend fantasy. And when you come to C Spot Studio, you got to think outside the box. I do. I think outside the box. So I wanted to bring theater. I love theater. I wanted to bring that to me in my own personal spot. I wanted to have my own stage. I wanted lights, camera, action. So everything that God put here, I wanted to see it, and He allowed me to put it into action. So I do a lot of I specialize in green screen. Of course, as you see one back there, but
Nice.
I like I said, it's constantly pretending. I love costumes. Um, I don't know if you remember, I posted once, you see the Vegas headpieces and all of
Yes.
that.
Yes.
So I've always liked Vegas. I've always liked Broadway. I've always liked to see the Vegas showgirls. It's like I don't what happened to that? I don't see as much anymore. Um, or the flamingos or whatever you want to call it, but with all the beautiful ostrich feathers and all of that. And and it's so funny. I'm afraid of birds. Get really.
Okay.
I'm afraid of feathers, but when it comes to ostrich feathers, and I did not know there was various types of the ostrich and the feather till I learned last year. But I get those ostrich feathers and I'm not afraid of it. Now, if I saw the bird for real and it happens to come up on me, I'm running. But nevertheless, I found a place. I was visiting Vegas in 2021. And I started saying, I want to do more productions. And everything that I saw in Vegas reminded me of Egypt. I'm like, oh, a pyramid, the Luxor, and all of this. So everything. So while I was there, I'm like, Vegas meets Egypt. And that was the name of the show that I put on in 21 at one of the event centers here. And it turned out really nicely. And I think I want to do it again.
All right. I
I think I
saw.
want to do it again. So I don't know if you saw, did you see some of the portions I may have posted
I
about
did.
it?
I did. Yeah. You did a good job with it too.
Thank you. And it was a lot of work. And I think people don't realize it's two of us. Dennis helps me a great deal.
Right.
Used to be on my Facebook watching a lot of things that I was doing. And he was like, man, when he came to visit one day, he said, you really are into this stuff. I'm like, but that's just me. So musically, I was trained in opera. I came up been singing for years. I would say singing since the seventh grade. I sung at my high school. I mean, I'm sorry, I sang at my elementary school graduation, and I did a song. Then I did "Reach Out and Touch Somebody's Hand," And then what was the name of the song at that time? My quote unquote so-called trying to have a boyfriend. We had an original song that we performed at our graduation. So I've been writing and performing for some time in various competitions coming up through high school, representing the school in things like what we used to call literary meets. I still have trophies. Can you believe it? I'm still holding on to trophies
That's
from
all
back
right.
in so I've got trophies, girls literary meet, singing. I used to read music really, really good, but now it's like, I play the keys sometimes, but I was on the piano a lot at one point. And what I'm doing right now, as I grew up, my father bought my first real baby grand piano when I was in 11th grade.
Okay.
I was on the piano day in and day out. Like, and I would play by ear most of the times because I could seem like I couldn't read. I didn't take piano lessons,
Hmm.
but I could pick up on the notes because, I had to read music at some point. But it comes one of those things where if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, various competitions over the years. Then Georgia State University here in Atlanta used to have an orchestra, which that's another thing I love orchestras.
Can I just
So
can you just pause for 1 second, Carletta?
sure.
Can we, you give me a lot of great information. Can we start? Let me just rewind for a second. When did you decide that? I mean, as a little girl, did you come up singing, or did you hear somebody singing? What was your inspiration to start singing?
My mom,
Okay,
she would sing, and she had this like what we call vibrato.
right.
And she would just sing and sing to we're like, why don't you sing? But she would sing in church. And then I grew up singing in church. But my first time really, she was the inspiration. And having my first time singing in front of people was the 7th grade graduation and talking about scared, you know. And then after that, well, she kind of made me do it too. When you have teachers realize, hey, I got a student that can sing or do something. And then they kind of push you. So she made me also, and I said, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to do it? Well, and my mom showed me a lot of things. So she said, you got to make your voice tremble, like, to get
Yeah,
this sound.
yeah,
And I'm like, what is it? She didn't give me a name of it, but she knew what we call vibrato. That's what it was.
right.
I just started practicing in that way. And then after as time went on, she was like, I want you to stay in chorus. Well, then as things go on, my chorus teacher said, I want you to start doing competitions. We had competitions with other schools and all of that. And I did. It was and they trained me. My I would stay after school to be trained vocally, how to breathe. I mean, the way I sing now would be a big no-no. Like hard, forceful from my throat.
Yeah,
That's a but from the abdomen, push and
diaphragm.
yeah, the diaphragm.
Yeah,
My teacher would say, "No, you got to sing from here." And he would push me in my
yeah,
stomach. You feel that? You feel that?
yeah.
So I got it, and then learning how to hold the breath and things like that. And then we started more and more competitions, and so it got to be so much fun, and uh, nervously fun.
Right, right.
And I was glad when it was over with. But I had a scholarship at that time in music to attend Morris Brown. It just wasn't truly my at the time when Morris Brown was in as accredited college. I just didn't go. I went to another college at that time, but I did have a full scholarship. I didn't act on it, not for music at that time. So, and here I am today. I'm rewriting a lot of songs that I have on file with BMI that I wrote back in the 90s, and it's still on copyrights. So I'm just going back in to that library, pulling songs and just updating the sound of it and adding little different instruments and just having a good time with it.
What is your process of creating music though? Since you write, do you write the
I,
complete song or do you write the melody or you write everything?
everything is in here if I think about it. And sometimes I have a writer's block thing. I know a lot of people use AI nowadays to, there was no AI.
Right.
Like I'm still kind of old fashioned
Right.
when it comes to creating.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know if my screen went dark or what, but anyway, I'm still kind of old fashioned when it comes to that. But I'm by the window. I just want to make sure you can see me
Yeah,
okay.
you good.
Okay. So how it starts off with me, it may start out with the tune in my head or and I gotta go, see what this sounds like or whatever I'm thinking. And then at that back in those days, we just play. We had tape recorders at that time.
Right.
Push the tape recorder, just play, so you won't forget it.
Yeah.
Nowadays we have our phones. Push record so I won't forget it. If I'm humming it or whatever the case is, so I go to my key. I have a workstation in one of my other rooms, and I have my other studio downstairs. So I go in my other room, just play, and I may not have the words at that moment, but the tune is in my head that I have to get out.
Okay.
So, or it will work vice versa, and I may have some words and just spit it out. A fine example would be "Love is like a flower."
That's a beautiful song, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't really think that people were gonna take to it or whatever. I'm just sitting there, love like a love. It's simple tune. Do my, I'm like, okay, let me write that down. Let me write that down. And I just kept. It was just the moment, and that wasn't the song I was supposed to have been putting out. My song I was supposed to have been putting out is called "Love Me," and "Love Me" I've had since the '90s on file on copyright, BMI. And still just, I performed it in my own shows. I performed it with an audition or two and certain things I wanted to get in because it's my original tune. But I'm just right now, just having a good time. The industry is neither here or there for me. It is what it is. But I still want to be creative. But I'm just getting to a point to just pull everything. And what was so funny, I didn't finish up everything that I had to do with DistroKid. Come to find out, as I'm finishing it up this time, they said, "Oh, we owe you some money." I'm like, "For real?"
All right.
I'm like, "What?" I thought that was the cutest thing I thought. So I said, "Okay, somebody's listening to it."
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that kind of inspired me to finish up some things. I'll start on one project, I'll get off, I'll start on something else, and then I'll start on a production, and then I'll go make some. I'm like, toot, 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 toot,
Right.
toot,
Right.
toot. So, this year, I am going to finish up. I mean, I have songs that are complete. I just need to pull them off and re-listen before I put them out again. Um, I was at an event yesterday, and I'm just like, if I see a piano just sitting, a piano, a piano, not a keyboard,
Uh-huh.
a baby grand, upright, whatever, and it's just sitting somewhere, oh, I'm running to it.
Oh, you
Let
get
me go and feel it. So
okay.
that's what I did yesterday at the event, and I just started yesterday. Another example. So I sit down and I'm like, just simple tunes. And then I told Jasmine, the other young lady I invited, had them on the event with me. I said, come. So we're just sitting there. I said, just spit, hum, do something with me. And then her husband comes. He said, slide over. So we're all sitting on the piano stool together as I'm sitting there playing and just mucking around. And I said, y'all know what? Don't sound too bad. We need to go on and get this down, you
Yeah.
know. So sometimes that's how things come about. Um, I haven't gotten, I know about AI and how people are doing now, but I haven't gotten, and that's not that I don't know how to use it. I just don't want to use it.
Yeah.
Like for me right now. And I found out that over the years, as much as, as I'm a videographer and an editor as well. So I actually like to go out on location and shoot. But this time, and I have so much footage, but this time around, getting this video out, and I need to go back and do videos for the other songs that I have out. But nevertheless, the hard part for me was to get this video out and stick with a time frame to do it when I said I was going to do it. Just to kind of find out when I finished the video, they said not accepted. I was like, what? Yeah, what did I do wrong? 3 times my video was shut down. And I couldn't figure it out. So I kept getting in touch with DistroKid. What's wrong? What's wrong? What am I doing wrong? So they said, in my program, they said that I had a code on it. So I did find that, taking it off, I resubmitted it. No, still denied. I said, what could I possibly be doing wrong? Well, kind of find out some of AI was in my video.
Oh.
And I was like, I didn't ask to use AI. Where was it at? So they said, are you using any stock footage in your program? I'm like, yeah, I did use stock footage. They said, well, you can't use it. It's got to be all original, authentic. I'm like, well, I declare. So I'm like, I thought maybe I've been on this program for years. And I guess because I never really had something distributed before. So I ran out that same day because remember, I'm trying to get this out by the 24th, which was December 24th, 2025. So this was the week of, and I'm still scrounging around, ran out to go get some. I said, okay, what was I talking about? Green grass. I got to go find some green. Well, this time of year in Georgia, there's no more green grass.
It's all brown right now. Yeah.
So we did find a lady that didn't live too far. Some people have that all year round green grass, and I went around and I knocked on it. I'm like, I gotta get you. May I please? I'm doing a video and I'm really rushed for time. Can I just get a little clip of your grass? Oh my gosh, it was a long day that day. Then I ran to a hotel, just running around getting this, getting that. Some things I really wasn't satisfied with. Dennis reminded me. He said, "Do you remember in Vegas you were just videoing a lot of different things?" I'm like, yeah, I can't find those files. So I searched. I was up half the night searching. So lo and behold, I found the file. So with her green grass and going to the park, trying to get exactly what I remember seeing in the stock footage, I went out on location and I found some other things, and that's how I got my background to go with it. Because I had planned on going on location somewhere else and do the video. Time just slipped away. I was supposed to complete everything during the summer. Did not, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that people listen. I'm thankful it's playing today, as a matter of fact, on one of the stations, and I'm thankful for that. Now, is it hard to get any songs played here in the US? Yes. Seems like they want an arm and a leg to pay them. Some of the DJs on like TikTok has played it. I've gotten reviews from people I don't know, and I'm thankful that they could bump their heads to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anything that I do, I'm like, if I like it, 2 or 3 other people like it, I'm good.
That's it.
I'm not trying to please the world. I'm just trying to do what I love doing, and it's an outlet for me.
Yeah. That's great. So let me ask you, when you were growing up and when you were in high school or whatever, were you doing any paid gigs at that time? Were you singing in after
Not,
school or anything?
I was singing a lot. We were doing, I don't know if they still have this today, but we were doing a lot of talent shows back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of talent shows, and it was pretty good. I used to play the piano then. I would play for a girls group that I was in, and And we would do stuff like, you can ring my
Yeah.
bell, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
We had
yeah.
but no, there was no pay. I didn't start doing paid gigs until like the 90s. I was out of I was graduating and all that by then. But I had some of the most beautiful and met some wonderful people that I don't think I would have ever met. For one lady, I think what happened after I graduated, one of the teachers called me back to be a part of a talent show there. I'm like, okay, that's my school. And while I was there was I guess a talent scout out in the audience. And after it was over with, she was like, hey, I'm a manager and I'd like to talk to you more, blah, blah, blah. So we talked more. And then later she said, I would like to be your manager. Okay. So, but she would get me, and she was from New York. And during that time in the 90s, she was working for this big time floor designer. And I, I met people, I'm like, who is that? They're like, you don't know who that is? I'm like, no. They're like, girl, that's RuPaul. I'm like, who?
Oh, RuPaul. Okay.
They're like, or I'm so that's Elton John. I'm like, who? Because I didn't know, I didn't know.
Right.
I was because for a long time I was in the gospel field because that's where I grew up in the church. So I sang gospel a long time. And then after, I was kind of switching over and all of that kind of stuff. I was in the Georgia Mass Choir. And I was like,
Yeah,
I know
you did the
what I like.
doggone thing. I read that. I was like, yeah, you were just all over the place, doing your thing with
Uh-huh.
the Georgia. That was pretty impressive. Yeah.
Georgia Mass Choir, you got to go through all these, you got to audition for that too. What I haven't done yet that I would like to do, I really would like to be in this Candlelight by Fever, I think it is.
What is it?
So I think it's on Facebook. They give some of the most beautiful events with all these candles, and
Okay.
I even had to go out and get my own candles. I mean, like lots and lots of candles.
Uh,
So out back is the stage out here, the C spot stage out back. So I will be having a function here this year. So I think I'm gonna add those candles. I tried it and it looks so nice, and I'm like, okay, I need more candles. So the thing of me, I love lights, camera, action. I love to pretend. Um, it's just it's just another world, you know. And I'm getting more. What I want to do is get more into short film, add my music with that, put it out online, and just see what happens. I'm just a let's see what happens kind of person.
you know what? I tell you what, I like your courage and the thing that you were doing, you would never have gotten to where you're at if you hadn't taken chances. So you're showing that you don't have to go to traditional. It doesn't, like you say, the record companies, they're not signing people these days. Let's just be honest. It's very, very rare. So you have to make your own lane if you
That's right.
want to do business and you can be successful. I see a lot of these people on TikTok and all that, they don't play any concerts. There's a guy named Foolish Frankie. He's great sax player and all he does weddings and all that stuff. But this guy's got hundreds of thousands of followers and he doesn't even have any records out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So yeah.
That and that's a good thing. And you get a chance I meet a lot of people on TikTok. I'm on TikTok more now than Facebook.
Okay.
And I'm trying to work my YouTube channel more. Now, had I kept on some time ago, name change was one of them. So married and divorced, and then I'm like, let me get rid of that name and do something else, start over.
Yeah.
I will always be out there on Facebook way before TikTok came along.
Yeah.
TikTok came along in 2017, but it took off. It took off. So I mean, like I had the account, I have the Snapchat and all, but some things is just like, oh, this is too much to be working at because you got to go and do this, do that. I just got to the point with TikTok. to set up my studio. It's almost like open broadcast studio, OBS.
Okay.
And just is a little bit tedious a little bit, but just trying to get different angles and just meet a lot more people. And they have games too. I was surprised how it's so much dealing with that particular platform.
Right.
Right now, the US has it, Oracle, and everybody's going through some different things with it, you know. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just thankful that it's a platform.
Yeah.
We can meet. I'm not trying to make money off of it. I'm not trying to sit out there 5, 6, 8 hours
Yeah.
and make these.
Right. Right.
I could be doing something else. And if my music is listened to or whatever, and I found out I can get some funds from DistroKid, I'm like, oh, got to do a few gigs. I'm fine. I do have a movie that I'm in called Cougars. We added some a few more scenes to that. And hopefully and finally it would be on Tubi this year, 2026.
Didn't I saw it though, didn't I?
You saw it the first time. You did see some of it, and it was on one of those I think it was on some app called Fossum.
I thought I saw
And
it on Tubi. I guess I didn't then, huh?
not on Tubi. We're trying to get it on there. So some more scenes have been added to it
Okay.
before we start on Cougars 2.
All right. Now, how'd you
Yeah.
like that? What's the okay? What do you like the most? I mean, I know you're just an entertainer though. Do you like singing more than acting, or what? What is your favorite?
I like singing. I like singing. I've been trying out the acting part. People say, "Oh, you got it naturally." And no, I don't. So, when I was asked to do this stage play year before last, now I was singing in a lot of stage plays. But if you ask me to act, I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 no. That's not me."
Yeah.
So with Blake Vision Entertainment, they asked, "Carletta, we want to have you do a part." I said, "A part? Like a real part?" They were like, "Yeah, you can act." I'm like, "Who told you I could act?" I don't consider myself as an actress, but just like you do it all the time when you're singing.
Yeah.
You do it, you doing that, and you're moving it. I said, "No, no, no, no. That's different. That's how I feel at the moment. That's the song." They said, "Well, so it's the same thing." I said, "But I don't want to let you down." You asked me, right? So, and they said it's easier for a singer to be an actor or actress than for an actor or actress to be a singer.
I believe that.
I'm like, okay, but I'll give it a shot. But please don't fault me if I got the cheat sheet in my hand and I'm looking at words, you know, but I was nervous about it the first time and it worked out. They worked with me and I was like, when they gave me the script, they said, "Oh no, it won't be much." It was much for me.
Yeah.
So I was like, "I thought you said a couple of paragraphs." A couple is 2. So I'm like, "This is all throughout. I'm interacting with everybody." And it was like not this past summer, but last summer, I spent an entire time, and I think we went up to New York with that same stage play last year. But I spent a long time just to learn my part. I knew of the play because I was singing in it, but not acting. So I was a club owner, and this is about it was like the Etta James story kind of, and that's what it's all about, Etta James. And I was back in those days, I guess they sang in what we know as juke joints, maybe clubs or whatever.
Right.
So I was the club owner, and a lot of stuff happened in my club. So, but I interacted with every character, and I developed that character because I'm like, I don't know what a bartender is supposed to do. You know, I'm not a bartender.
Right.
So, um, but in order for me to get it, I'm like, but I got to play the part. I got to feel it. I got to see it because they asked me one day, they said at rehearsal, "Carletta, what you looking at?" I said, "I don't know. I'm just staring out in space trying to remember the part." They're like, "Well, you need to be looking to the left." I said, "Okay, who am I addressing when I don't see what I'm looking at?" You know, so I said, "I got to feel it." If you say that I've got to go over there and touch, look over there and point to, the jukebox. Well, I need to see something, a radio or something. Give me something, a Bose for right now, speaker, so I can practice
Oh,
that way. So, and I find myself bringing in like, I'm quick to bring in props. This is going to be my station. I bring in chairs, tables. Everybody have to pretend for me in order for me to get it.
right, right.
So, and and it turned out well. I was happy interacting with some of the most beautiful local actors and actresses here. They could sing, and I love to sing and harmonize. Oh my God, we had a great time. And then at one point, I had a moment where I had to come out on stage by myself and talk about what's going on in my club, you
Mm,
know. And then I had to come out with the gospel and sing. And oh, now I understand what it means to that real actors and actresses get into that character.
right.
Um, and it shapes and it takes form, and you take form of what you're talking about. And I was finally able to experience that. Um, and it made it that much nicer because each person felt their character, and we just worked with each other. And it was just amazing. So I was very excited about that. So
So let me ask you.
and
Let me ask you
Mhm.
about your process of learning because yeah, I mean you learn your own songs, but when you have to sing with somebody else, their lyrics, how do you learn your songs and as opposed to learning your lines as an actress? Because you got to do both. So what is your process to do each of those?
Got to do both. Well, since I was already doing songs, but I would learn the songs, and especially songs I've never heard of. Uh, I got to work with those the most, and I know what part, whether I'm soprano in mostly everything. And then after I get the songs down, then I'll go back and start looking over the words because I'm not young and things just don't happen like that.
Tell me about
So I have to, I have to really, really practice, set aside few hours each day learning and going over the script. And for other people, it might be just easy,
it. Yeah,
but for me, I have to look at the script and read it over and over and over. I sleep it. I eat with it. I take a shower with it. It's a constant
yeah,
in order for it to click. Um, so that's an everyday thing. Just touch on it every day, and then as we get to rehearsals, and then they tell us, okay, you got to be off script. Ooh, got to be off script by when?
oh yeah.
And no books, no this, no that. I'm like, oh Lord, can I remember? So so for me, what I had to do was even on my phone or pad, I would have everything lined up, page by page, everything highlighted that I would have to say. Remember a little bit of what I hear. I have to record, even though most directors or whatever, they don't want you to record them, but I let them know I need it just for me,
Right.
so I can hear the others say what they're saying. So when I get home, I can practice in my own way. So that's how I prepare me for that part.
That's a great answer. Hey, let me ask you about C Spot Studios. What type of services do you offer? The full list. What do you guys do at C Spot Studios?
Well, it depends on what somebody's looking for. If they're looking just for video for a shoot for like a music video, I mean, everybody's doing their own now, but it started out just for me, really,
Hmm.
honestly. But I've had people over for stage plays. They actually did the whole stage play on the green screen, and each scene will represent, and it looks like, for instance, I had a stage play year before last, maybe 3 years ago, and all the cast members were here, and each section we just set up. One was a restaurant for one. Might have been maybe about six to eight people in that scene. But when we were done, put everything together. And that's one of the services, a green screen.
Okay.
When we were done, and the directors shared it with everyone, they were like, "Oh, yeah, by the way, what restaurant did we go to?" I said, "You really thought you were somewhere? This is great. This is great." I mean, like, you really thought you were at a restaurant.
Yeah.
But I said, "No, you were just in the green screen. You don't remember? You were just everything was green. That's all you saw." So that's one of the services, is putting you somewhere you would normally be. Um, we do a lot of videos like that. I think I did one just playing around with it. Like this background, for instance, if I want it close up, I'll put myself in it and ride my bike down on that bridge.
That's awesome, man.
Like I'm skiing, but it's and you know what? It's nothing new. It's been around for years. Green screen been around for years, blue screen. And if you got the room, movies have been made by that for years.
Yeah.
You think you out west somewhere, and it may look like you're out west, or you might see something going by, but and sometimes we'll go out and shoot in the way that however I want it to look like we're actually on the road. I've got all kind of footage from that too, but it's so much fun. Somebody asked me just the other day how much would I rent out back, but I told them I don't really know. Now inside, that's a different story, but outside, and I haven't thought about renting much out yet, uh, because it's still not like it's not like I'm in a building per se. I'm still at home.
You're right.
So I try to keep that at bay, and not too many people I don't know and all that kind of stuff in and out, because it's still a place of living.
You have to be careful. You definitely have to be
Absolutely.
careful. Yes.
And we have a lot of equipment. Um, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of equipment to do what people need to do, but I just invested in it to have my own, where I don't have to go to no one else's studio to do my music. I didn't back in the well, I did. I went to the studio to do my music because everything was in my keyboard. So I'm thinking that when I got to the studio, I just dump everything out. Well, it didn't quite work that way. I learned about studio time, blocking off. So where I thought 2 or 3 hours became 10 hours for me, and it became very expensive. So it taught me a lesson that, hey, learn to do some things yourself, save yourself some money. And that's what I did. And that's how I do now. So when if someone asks me, and I try not to break the pockets or nothing like that. I'm not into hurting anyone. If anything, I've helped a lot of people. I do pictures, somebody want pictures, and I see that, we can lend a hand. We'll lend a hand.
Okay.
And then some people just don't want to pay anyway. So it's just like,
You
so I
get
don't
rid of
really.
those easy. It's easy for them.
Exactly. So I really don't get into a lot of someone asked me recently um if I would do the rest of their actually Carolyn, she has a wonderful play called Shop Talk While Real Men Pray. But oh my gosh. And actually she almost won an award for it, but that was only like 12 minutes of shooting all day, and it was a scene. But the scene, she has more scenes, and I'm like, actually, it can be a movie, and it can be episodes, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I'm not really willing to do that much work, because um, it can get expensive, and it's very, very time consuming, and it takes me away from what I really want to do. But if I would decide I want to do a show downstairs in the studio, I invite a few people over and we go at it. But um, but other than that, I don't do a lot of offering it out for services.
Okay. So it's mostly your stuff, but you do things as you feel led to do. I understand. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, so
Yes.
let's talk about Adventures of a Soul Sister and your partner, John Kerry. How did that come about?
Well, I at someone else's event, there to record another person's a birthday party, and it was at a one of the clubs in Riverdale, Georgia. So I went over there. Dennis and I went to record the party and take pictures. So at that moment, John's band happened to be there, and I was like, they sound pretty good. So one of the ladies, um, the birthday guy, as a matter of fact, we went to pick him up because he wanted to, some people want to be able to drink and trust someone else to get them back and forth safely. So I said, okay, we'll help you out on that. And he brought one of his friends from New York, and she went with us. So I didn't know the lady. So when we got there, we just went right on to work because we had C Spy Studio, blah, 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 blah. We went to work, and it's only so much you can record at a party. After I get everybody and certain things, get the dance. Okay, now I got enough footage, put it together for them. Now I'm ready to work. I listen to the band. I'm like, oh man, they sound good.
Right.
So the young lady that went with us said, I want to sing a song. I'm like, so she said, I want to sing this. So she talked to the talent scout that brings the talent into that place, this particular place. She said, he's okay. I'll let you sing. I'm like, dang it. And then she told everybody, she said, I'm gonna try to do rock steady, but I've been having a little good time and I don't want to mess it up. So I said, well, look, I'm off work, so let me have the mic so I can play and have fun too. That's how we met.
Okay.
So I did rock steady. The band played, had a great time. And then we started recording the band on more songs. And John's wife said, hey, she talked to me. She said, can I get some footage? I said, sure, I'll put it together for you. Did that. And then next thing you know, I got a phone call. He said, hey, what you think about a Soul Sister song? Because you kind of remind me, what you think about, the 70s? I said, you know what? It's not a lot I can really say about the 70s because I remember afros, bell bottoms, Cuban heels, whatever you want to call it. But I didn't get a chance to enjoy those days because I was still young, and my sisters and brothers got a chance to enjoy it and have a great time. But I said afros and having a good time with that. I would love to do something like that. Just so he was just creating and writing and throwing songs at me. He said, this is going to go really fast. I'm like, how fast? But at that time, he was just throwing songs at me, and I was like, oh my God, am I gonna be able to do this? I really wasn't quite ready for it. But and a lot of things I can look back and say, oh, I should have did it this way, I should have did it that way, or I could have taken it this way or whatever. But we're thinking about doing some remixes on it. But it's fun. We haven't pushed and promoted it like we could have. I haven't even performed. I performed maybe 2 of the songs with other bands as I'm out, but I will be pushing to do perform it more. As a matter of fact, I have a couple of musicians that want to be make a band. I'll be meeting with them in the next few days on Zoom and do the meet and greet. And one of the musicians says, I just want to play your song. I'm like, oh, let's see what happens.
Yeah. That's what's up. Now, you said you have all these songs in the vault, pretty much, right? You have a lot of songs that you just haven't released, and
I have about nine songs just been sitting that I haven't released. Just like anyone else, that well-known artists, they
yeah, they
have.
do it all the time. I know. Yeah, I hear that.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about, this is way before AI was even
Right.
thought about. So you just create, and it's just on file. You've got it copywritten, it's out there, you got your certificate, they're just in files. So I was like, hey, why don't I just start pulling, and that's what I'm doing. So I have
Okay.
9 songs that I'm pulling, and I'm bringing it over to ASCAP, and just going to see what's going to happen. One is called, and I would give titles. It's called You're My Dad. And I'm actually singing about my father, but I was able to perform it at a church one Father's Day, and that was, ooh, that was in the late 90s,
Okay.
and got a pretty good response. And and I had background then. I was like, oh, it almost made me cry because my dad got a chance to hear it, see it.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was asked, someone's supposed to be recording it, and they were so into it, they missed out on recording it. And I was like,
Ah,
that's what I would never get back.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's one of them. And I got one that's kind of a jazzy like song called "We've Made It Through." Uh, I can't remember the rest of them off the top of my head because they're all in the other room. But I do have several that I'm just pulling, leaving as is, and it'll just be a remix or an update.
So when did you acquire all these handy skills? I watched some of those videos. I'm a man. I don't. I mean, I'm a mechanic, but I'm not a homemaker. But I saw you up there with saws and ladders and hammers. So where did that come from?
My dad, he was he served in World War II, and he was also in construction,
Oh,
always building. Oh my God, he could build anything. And I was his only child, and but I was always with them, like pass me the hammer, give me this, give me that,
okay.
bring me. So I'm up on the roof, didn't think anything of it. I'm climbing up ladders and stuff. Give you this, give you that, and so one day I stepped on a nail. I
Oh,
had, and
ooh,
had to go to the doctor, but I was a daddy's girl and a little tomboyish at times because, hey, I went with him everywhere. My mom was more of the decorator. She was um the seamstress. She was she did a lot of weddings, home decor. And so I saw her just make, create, create, create. So I got a little bit of both of them in me. So that's
that's awesome.
where, yes, that's where that creation, and I thank God for it because I'm not a seamstress, but then I'll be like, okay, so if she was still here, what would she do? How would she make this?
Yeah.
And the only somebody that took that all the way with their own line was my niece. My niece was very expensive too. So, but nevertheless, I had to try it. And I just remember those things and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it and see what happens. Again, I'm gonna see what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
But the headpieces have been working out. So Dennis will help mold my head, shape it with the materials that we're using, and then I'll go from there with how I want the piece. I needed to fit my head because I got a big forehead. So one lady in one owner of a shop in Vegas, beautiful costumes. She was like, I don't know what's going to happen, but people don't rent these costumes like they used to in Vegas, da 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 da. I'm looking at all the headpieces. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm talking about the only thing that I could afford in her shop was one feather and a little band, and that was $60.
Oh wow. One
Everything else was
feather?
like one little piece.
Oh Lord.
And when I tell you it was expensive, it was beautiful. Those headpieces were like $1,500 and up.
Oh,
So I'm like, she said, but you know what? I tell you, she said, you look like you can make it. I said, nah, I doubt it. So she told me how to make it. And then she turned it and she showed me the things to do. And she said, I'm gonna send you to a place where I get all my feathers. And that's how that started.
wow.
And I looked at a couple of YouTube pieces and tried to say, well, it took me a while to really to like get it, but I had to try it and not be so nervous about it that it won't work. So I said, let me just go for it. And I have three beautiful pieces in there now and getting ready to work on the fourth.
That's awesome, though. You know, it seemed like as a little girl, you had a vivid imagination, didn't you, though? Because, like you said, this dream world that you were in, and you still live. You know, I love it because it keeps you young and it keeps you moving and doing things that you want to do. Be creative. That's awesome. Yeah,
Yes, yes. So and it's just thoughts that comes and I thank God for it and I just try to act on it. And it's a beautiful thing to see whatever you were thinking about really is out where other people can see and hear. When we do productions, we put a lot of work into it, and it costs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's getting to the point where I'm not going to be able to keep doing it because of the cost and everything is going up. Venues cost,
Yeah.
and um, we're going to do a Mother's Day production, but that's going to be pretty much it. I went in with someone else, but I told them, I'm like, I really don't like to do a lot of food dealing with people, but that's going to have to be the last straw because you really don't make any money. You got to rent out the venue, you got to pay people,
Yeah.
musicians. Um, like this one is called a Mother's Day dinner and a show. Well, hey, food and plus paying people, that's going to make your ticket prices high.
Yeah.
So I like to do less as possible dealing with food, because everything is gone up.
Yeah. So do you play with, I know you do your own thing, but you do some shows with other people as well. You do backgrounds for other people sometimes?
Yeah.
You do?
Hmm. Hmm. Yep. I do that too. And that's fun too. Um, Danny Clay is one that does Luther. He does it very well.
Okay.
And I've been on some of his stuff and before and even in a stage play and which was called the Luther story, Blake Vision, but he actually does sound good. He sounds like Luther. And I think he's got some stuff that he's doing over in Amsterdam, but he's been doing Luther for years. So I had the opportunity to background and sing along with him because he would always, we would do If This World Were Mine.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. It's just, it's just a beautiful thing. So it's talks that they may have that play again. I'm not sure if I'll be in it or not. We'll see.
So let me ask you, who are some of your favorite singers? I want you to give me your Mount Rushmore of singers. You know, it's only four Mount Rushmore, but I always give everybody five, and they can be
Oh,
male or female. Your top singers, your
well,
influences.
I guess Whitney Houston, Patti LaBelle,
No,
Dionne Warwick, and oh my God, I should not miss this one. Donna Summers.
you can get one more too. I give you five. That's a good roundup.
Um, oh my God. Love. Oh, what's the name? Soft as an easy chair. Oh my gosh, why her name slipped my brain now. And not to forget Diana Ross. But oh, I can't even think of a name right now.
That's okay.
I'll think of it. But they were some of the ones because I used to do Whitney a lot back in the day when I'm doing parties and things like that.
Yeah,
And here in Georgia, I was always up in Buckhead. It was just such a beautiful thing. And so much has changed here in Georgia.
yeah.
Um, I had some wonderful events. And having the opportunity, I don't like to name drop because it's like it's neither here or there now, but I did have the opportunity and pictures. I don't even show a lot of pictures or post a lot of things like that because I'm like, that was just then. And even then I was able to meet Carl Lewis and who was one of the
Awesome. Yeah.
top athlete runners at the time, uh, Jermaine Hawkins, Walter Hawkins, and actually have pictures with them at some functions like the mayor. I think when Campbell was mayor here, I was able to sing at one of the functions. Um, Met Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, and didn't know who they were, of course.
Mhm.
I had an opportunity. Oh, and oh God, what was her name? Nancy Wilson. I have pictures with her,
Wow. Yeah.
and I found out back in those times that I don't. It's not like that now, but then there were opportunities to be able to open up for a female, but female artists didn't want another female to open up for them.
Is that right?
They called it upstaging.
Oh, wow.
So so those kind of things wouldn't happen. They would rather have a male, but nowadays it's not like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good though. I tell you
Mhm.
though, so what's the music scene like in your area in Georgia though? Are there a lot of venues or I mean,
The venues I've seen in certain places up north to me, are much nicer. Venues down here, you got you have regular venues, and they don't have stages. They just it's a space,
Okay.
and it can be very costly, $2,000 to $5,000 for a space, no kitchen. I'm like, nah. And I'm always looking for something with a stage. But even like I said, what I found out, which is so unfortunate here, I don't know about everywhere else, but I know in Georgia, with most Black businesses, they hike their prices up even more because the rent goes up
Yeah.
astronomically.
Yeah.
Business owners, Black business owners, I should say. And I just lost a friend last year, right before the end of the year, because of stuff like that.
Mm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Friends and money, sometimes those don't mix, huh?
Yeah, because I mean, this person actually is not on the earth right now anymore because
Sorry to hear that.
I'm like, and I can't tell people enough how you just got to be careful. I had another friend the other day, they're moving out of their place because of rent. And I see it happening
Yeah.
more and more to the Black race of business um, minded individuals. And then once they get their place, they go all out trying to make it something, and all of a sudden, your money is gone. And it takes time to
Yeah.
get people to come to your place because you don't know they're there. You got to advertise. So I've seen a lot of that here.
Yeah.
I see it open up today, give it about a year, they're gone.
Yeah, I know it's unfortunate. The economy, even out here in California, we got a lot of stuff out here, but it's still most of the stuff is too expensive, and the other ones are you just don't feel like dealing with the traffic and all that other stuff, though. So it's just
Right.
not like it used to be, though. So
No, because it looks like to me, back in the day, I would say the Black race was able to own something.
right,
They had businesses, they had the mom and pop grocery stores, or they had the mom and pop pharmacy,
yeah,
or they actually owned. And then
right,
at one point, they could actually own their homes. But with the way things are going now, you can barely own a home, and property taxes are just wiping people out.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. So with all of that that's going on, I'm thankful to have been living where I am now for 26 years, but I was just like, I just hang in there just like everybody else
That's
is,
it. Do what you got to do.
and try to keep my mind focused on what I'm doing that I love doing, which is music and creating.
Well, Carletta, I want to tell you, it has been a pleasure talking to you, and I have watched your growth. You've watched me, and I've watched you. You support
Yes,
me, and I support you.
yes.
And I love what you're doing. Keep it up. Love your enthusiasm and your attitude. And C Spot Studios is gonna you're gonna do whatever you need to do to get that where you want it to be.
Thank you. Yes, yes. And I appreciate you having me on. I really do.
Anytime. And before you go though, let everyone know how they can contact you, all your social media platforms, if you will.
Yeah, Facebook is Carletta Carletta. My YouTube handle is Carletta Carletta dash C Spot, or Carletta Carletta Soul Sister, Carletta Carletta. And then on TikTok, Carletta dot Carletta, same thing as Instagram. But and I'm working on my website. I'll give that information out soon, hopefully finish it this year.
Yeah.
But those are the social media platforms that I'm on now. As far as the music platforms, depends on what you're listening to. The songs are there, whether it's Pandora, iHeart Radio, Apple Music, Amazon, Deezer, um, YouTube, Spotify. It's on every platform. If you're in your car, whatever you listen to, look me up. It's out there. And then you can make your playlist, follow me. And Yeah, just go out there and drop me some lines out there on YouTube, and even the video is there. So it's more coming.
Subscribe and like and share.
Subscribe. Yes,
Right.
yes.
Yes.
Subscribe definitely, especially on YouTube, because once I get 1,000 subscribers, and I haven't been really pushing it, but
Right.
need to get 1,000 subscribers in order to do monetization. And even though YouTube is going through other changes, but they still want you to have 1,000 subscribers to be considered to do monetization.
So you guys hear that? Carletta Carletta needs you to go over there, help her get up to 1,000. And right here on Saxofriends, I got 700. I need 300 more of you guys to come and like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. We both would, right? Help us
Oh,
both
yes.
out. Help us out. You know.
Yes, because I think you have about what, almost 5,000 followers right there on.
Facebook, yeah, yeah, I could have been over 5, but I'll be honest, some of them I had to unfriend after this week because, it was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I
I do.
mean?
I have to do that too, and because one thing, I don't want to start another page either.
No.
But nevertheless, 5,000. If you have really 5,000
Yeah,
people
but you know how it is, yeah. So
hiding, so I kind of like have to come because everybody doesn't see your post.
right.
The platforms is all about making money themselves, so I get it. But and then I have to take time out and send people, instant message them, and say,
Yeah.
hey, don't mind following me or whatever. But the problem is too, a lot of times, even if people try to follow you directly from a link that you sent them, it'll say sign in. And most people don't realize all you got to do is sign in with your email address into YouTube and your password.
Right.
And some people may not remember, don't
Right.
know. And especially with I guess depends on what age group
Yeah.
that we're talking. It is hard.
It is.
So
Tell me about it. I know.
it takes work.
All right. Hey, Carletta, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day and
You
keep doing what you're doing because you're doing a wonderful job, okay?
and you are too. Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
All
And
right,
have a
Carletta.
great day.
You do the same. Hey, everybody, thank you all so much. Enjoy the beautiful game today. But before you
Yeah.
do that, watch Saxofriends and watch me and Carletta chop it up, okay? Everybody have a wonderful day. You guys take care.